In the bottom left, not even just the favorite to get out of the group, but probably one of the favorites to win this entire tournament. He is
Wongjin star Soulkey.
And in the upper right, with brilliant strategic play, he is
Azubu Sleep.
All right. So the way that Soulkey played last game, the way he got some speedlings, did some more active scouting.
Oh, nice. Came all the way from New Zealand. Welcome.
To watch the GSL. The greatest show on Earth.
The greatest show on Earth.
You made the right choice.
You made the right choice. New Zealand, if I understand correctly, one of the greatest countries
on Earth.
To live in, on Earth.
Yes, for sure.
No, if I understand correctly, it's like, is it like Finland and New Zealand and
Australia?
Sweden and Australia.
Yeah, those are all pretty great
basically,
places.
like, for quality of life.
Well, you know, quality of life you can measure in a lot of ways. And
that's true.
As far as like
if you
happiness
base quality of life
and
based
safety,
off how many Starcraft tournaments
are
there, then we probably have the best quality of life.
And the speed of our internet as well is definitely. True. I mean, sorry, New Zealand, you guys are great, but
take that, Australia.
Yeah, your guys' internet not quite as good as you are aware. So
they filmed Lord of the Rings and Jurassic Park in New Zealand, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, they had to do it there because that's the only place where tree ants are indigenous.
Yeah, that's a very important thing.
Yeah.
There's very few left on Earth, and that's one of the places where, you know, we haven't just turned them into cereal boxes and whatnot, you know, matchsticks and all that. I still got my tree ant notebook. Every now and then I rip a page just to watch it cry.
Oh, man. You know, it's not every day you meet somebody else who knows what a tree ant is. You have to be a serious nerd.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, here's the question. Tree ants are able to walk. What is a mythical tree that can talk but cannot walk?
The Deku tree.
No. That was just the name of that tree. And I believe it's
a mythical tree.
It's the Deku tree, not the Deku tree.
No, it's the Deku tree.
It's the Deku tree.
Deku, why don't you throw yourself off this balcony, Deku tree? I don't even want to know you anymore.
Is there a name, though, for a tree that's rooted that can talk?
Well, I know. I told you the name of one tree that does that. How many do you want?
Well, with that tree talks, I guess we could ask him. He'd probably know.
He passed away, unfortunately.
Oh,
well, it matters which game you play and how far you are, I guess, right?
So we have both players right now. It's going to be pretty passive here. It's Deku, man. It's not Deku.
You're so ridiculous.
You're so ridiculous.
Oh, my. So, all right. Yeah, this is nothing too out of the ordinary here. Sleep opening once again with kind of Symbol-esque low gas style for the early game. Focusing a little bit more heavily on the queens, whereas we are getting that quick Evo once again for Soulkey. And I did want to mention that, you know, one way that I like to see players play against a weaker mechanical player is to kind of mirror them quite a bit and try to...
Oh, I agree with that 100%. That's so smart.
There's other ways, too, though, because if you go for something that you can scout a lot with, such as speedlings with this +1, and not just scout a lot with, but tax some multitasking of your opponent perhaps as well, that's another way to damage a player that is mechanically below you, that's someone who has a harder time hitting injects and things like that. So not a bad way to go about it at all for Soulkey.
As usual here for Sleep, we see him beginning to wall in with structures at his entrance. The ramp here into the second base for both players, it's got a big berth. So you want to try to tighten that up so you can have some crowd control. Nice, getting one drone there is Soulkey. Some great harass and keeping those lings alive as well. He could go back in here and possibly get another drone kill. Let's see if that's the case.
Well, that is terribly annoying. Oh my god, wow. 2 drone kills and he still has 2 lings left. Oh, Sleep. His name describes the way his drones are acting against these lings tasteless.
Yeah, man. Drones with narcolepsy.
That's too bad. So he loses a couple, and that's some really good scouting overall by Soulkey.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was that had 2 facets to it because, he was scouting, but he also was picking off workers.
Soulkey with 26 lings. Wow, that is a lot of Zerglings on the way. Well, you know, he does have the Bailing Nest as well. He might be able to break through and do some damage, but we do have Sleep upgrading Roach attacks. So,
yeah,
we could see him start Roaches at some point.
Roach attack and armor here.
Now, if these queens are too far out and get surrounded by those lings, that's going to be a huge benefit.
He did just go under the Overlord, though,
Yeah.
so Sleep is privy to that information.
Looks like he will get back in time. Good thing for him.
Even then, with some of these lings getting turned into banelings. Oh, backing up now.
But it looks like both those queens have transfuses right now, so probably the best to sit back for a moment. He is going to make a ton of banelings to get aggressive with here, and his carapace is going to finish just as he's hitting.
All right, a lot of this is going to come down to the control here. The banelings are finishing now, and now headed up. They will be hitting these queens right here that will allow entry for the Zerglings to come in.
That is a lot of banelings going up, and here we go. And, oh, that is a good explosion right there. Gets the queens, gets some roaches off, and he is going to run by into the drone line.
Now there's one baneling over here. If he can get this baneling to connect with some workers and then send the lings up here as well.
Ooh, that could be big.
Drone's now being evacuated. He takes out that baneling with ease, by the way.
Some very nice control there by Sleep, keeping those drones all alive. Will pick off another queen, so, you know, he's really hindering his production by killing 3 queens off here.
Yeah, that was an unexpected result there at the ending. That queen was exposed, and therefore was picked off with ease.
And from here, Soulkey needs to make a lot of units, because I feel like what Sleep is going to want to go for, hit your 1-1, get your burrow, get your roach speed, and move out with a ton of roaches. But he is actually taking a 3rd hatchery, so it looks like he's not actually that scared. Huh.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable. Now, Sleep did do a good job deflecting that attack. But we'll have to see, you know, losing that many queens, your larva inject rhythm is going to be off.
It is. It's a pain for sure. We have a lot more drones on the way for Sleep, so he's actually still going to macro up. You know what? It feels like he's going to hit that same type of
the roach timing from game 1.
Yeah, basically with the 3rd base. You know, he's sitting back, he's saying, "All right, you know, you did do some damage there, but I have a bigger supply." He knows he has a bigger supply. A lot of banes were used there. That was pretty expensive. Thing is, his 3rd base is kind of noticeably slower here, but he does have better upgrades at least.
Yeah, that is very true.
Well, only for a second, I guess.
But, you know, with even more and more roaches coming out here, I think you're right with that attack. That possible timing from game 1.
It's strong. If your opponent doesn't kind of mirror it, if they don't just sit there and make a ton of units, if they try to tech too high, you can kill them with it.
You're absolutely right. You have to match them. Or it's just there's too much muscle in the army.
Well... Yes, that's right. I like that saying, too much muscle in the army. You know, when your opponent goes like roach infester, you go roach, right? Like those are that's 2 biceps, roach. Whereas roach infester is like a bicep and a protractor. What? Over time, the bicep and the protractor will win. They'll draw circles around your arm even. But in the short term, the double bicep will take it out.
It's funny how timings do work like that. We have, again, more roaches gathering up here. Now, small...
Soulkey he's making it tasteless. He's making the infestation pit.
Yeah. And it looks like we might have the roaches now move out here for Sleep. Now, there's an overseer on the way here to get these roaches burrowed. I'm a little bit confused by what was going on if those burrowed roaches were just to scout.
It looks like he just wanted to maybe do a little bit of harassment, but nothing working out for him yet.
All right. The supplies right now, 148 to 158.
If Sleep attacks right now, this would actually be a gigantic mistake. He needs to wait a little bit longer here, I think.
I don't think his economic engine is like quite there yet.
No, their supply is
just making so many roaches. Yeah. Well, it looks like Sleep's going to attack in here.
Ooh, I don't know if this is going to actually end up working. He has a few more roaches right now, but we're so close to the rally points of Soulkey that Soulkey should be able to rally out and kill these off.
More lings now coming up over here. Sleep's got a nice arc. Soulkey's backing up a little bit here, but as Artos has said, he's in line of where production is. So it's going to be quicker for reinforcements to meet up here for Soulkey's army. Sleep now retreating.
Well, that went pretty much exactly how you would expect.
Yeah.
Definitely a bit of a blunder there from Sleep. The game isn't over, though. No worries there.
Nice.
He does have a few more drones.
Contaminate there on that hatch.
Yeah, moves like that, very important. And with a slightly higher drone count and the fact that he's going for Hydras against Soulkey who's going for Infestors, that's something that actually can definitely end up working out for you. You know, you can go down and hit with this Roach Hydra type of push, and a couple fungals won't do that much against it.
Another nice contaminate here. Now, this is starting to stack up here. When you're contaminating that hatchery, that's going to slow down the overall production here for Soulkey in this case. Looks like Sleep may be itching for another attack here. Now, he does have a supply lead, albeit minor.
Well, that supply lead does translate to about 9 more Roaches right now. We have 20 Lings out for Soulkey, which kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, those Lings can just soak up the damage.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well,
deal a little bit.
The Roaches in the back can deal their damage.
Sleep is maxed out now. As these units pop out, this is when he needs to hit. And in fact, Soulkey's coming across the map, and this is a mistake. If he actually engages here, this could be terrible for him.
Okay, now he has these Lings here to counterattack if Sleep tries to move out, but it looks like it may be intercepted.
Well, they actually do get to run by. They are just so fast going into that main base, but we do have the counterattack. Now, that is about 10 supply of Zerglings, so that's going to be supply he doesn't have at home.
All right, the attack is going to begin over here. Nice concave here for Soulkey, but Sleep backs up and now branches out himself. Ling's doing a lot of damage over here. Again, maxed out right now. They basically are both players. Now, there are Hydras in the back here. They can do a lot of damage with some nice fungals being thrown down here from Soulkey.
That is a very strong army from Sleep pushing forward right now. You know, those Zerglings, they are supply that's across the map. Those fungals not doing quite as much as these Hydras.
Yeah, the Infestors don't quite have enough energy here.
Sleep is breaking through right now, Tasteless.
I got to say, yeah, the Infestors were a good idea, but he needed more energy on him. He didn't quite have that. The drones are being pulled now. Are we about to see Soulkey lose to Sleep in our first best of 3 here?
It does look like it, and just some great strategic play here from Sleep.
Okay, he's going to win this. This changes everything for the way that we got to think about this group now.
He's even dancing his Hydras.
He's making him dance now. Insulting Soulkey, saying, get out. Soulkey GG's, and that will be Sleep winning the first best of 3 here. Shocked is Soulkey right now. You can see the disappointment in his face.
He doesn't want to have to climb through this group. That's going to be so hard. But Sleep has to be feeling really good about himself. People keep underestimating him, but he's doing his homework. He's choosing really strong and intelligent builds, and he's executing them well enough.
Now, Sleep's not out of this yet. He goes to the winners. If he wins there, he makes it to the round of 8. If he goes to the losers, then he has to play in our final best of 3 here. But so far, to beat Soulkey means Sleep is in fantastic shape. It means he could probably beat anybody in this group. That is a force to be reckoned with.
It was very good planning, but that's what it was. It was planning, and you have to know how to defeat his strategies. Now, DRG get to watch that. I think against DRG, he's going to have a much harder time making that work.
Yeah, that's true. Now, keep in mind, the next match is going to be a ZVP.
Yes, Deer against DRG.
Now, I think DRG will win that, but you never know. You know, with Deer only having one matchup to prepare for today, it could be a pretty sick series.
Yes, Deer versus DRG. It's going to be fun. Those two names are so close. I was just realizing.
It's going to be like the Sue and SOS. Yes,
their Archon name, DRG.
We'll be right back after the short break with our second best of 3. Stay tuned.